forgot your microphone.
Oh,
is it on?
It better be.
Nope.
Yeah, it's, yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's on.
It's
on.
on.
It's on.
There it is.
It's on. It's on. It's on. It's on. We got it.
Homestead and Highlands. That's a girl. That's a girl, by the way.
I ain't touching that one with you. You done made that bed.
Do the floss, Jason.
Okay. So, y'all may have just missed a very informative live stream. If you missed it, go to the Big Bear Homestead group. If you're not a member, ask to join. It'll be in there. 3 of us put the link in there.
Yeah.
So
Very good live stream.
very informative live stream over there at Old Ways New Times. Very informative, very moving, eye-opening. Must watch live stream.
Definitely.
I think they titled it PSA.
Yes.
And I know with the big scare and everything, I'm willing to throw that dice with my channel because I think every last one of y'all need to listen to their story and from their experience of what they just had to go through and learn from it. It may save somebody's life. Get back in your hole.
Get in your hole.
Stay in there. Get in there. Get in there. So, go to Big Bear Homestead group on Facebook, and you will. What was that?
People asking to be in the group.
We got you in there. Got you in there.
You
just
good.
like that. What do you mean?
Although it reminds me I need to turn down my ringer on my phone.
So
all of a sudden I'm getting a bunch of requests.
Right.
You're welcome.
all right. So, and we share stuff. That group is fixing to get super crazy active. We put Blaze kind of in charge of the group and the Big Bear Facebook page itself. He's in charge of contacting Facebook to remove the troll that hacked the account and kind of
if any of y'all have any experience with that, let us know, because we went to go start posting stuff on our Facebook page and found out that
we ain't got the authority.
Neither one of us is an admin on it anymore. So not sure if I should be afraid that Blaze is in charge or not. So Kitty, maybe if you have any experience with that, I just know that he's trying to deal with it, but there's only so much that we've been able to accomplish so far.
Nope, you're not. I'm not even on the page anymore.
No, yeah, on the not the homesteading group page, on the regular Big Bear Homestead page.
And I've checked. The group is okay, but the weight loss challenge group, Kitty, I think you're the only one that they left as an admin on there. So somebody went through on a big bear hunting spree, and they kind of went crazy. So Blaze is going to hopefully be able to get a hold of Facebook, because Mom and I have been trying the old folks way now for about a month and a half.
No bueno.
And we didn't get anywhere. No. So we put Mr. Snowflake on there.
And then now we got Kitty working on it.
Now we got Kitty on there.
See. Yeah.
And
because that's why we haven't been posting in it, because there's really no point in it if somebody else has control over it. We don't want to do anything of that.
Yeah. We fixed the website thing today. It should be in the next 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, if it's not ready yet, here's the thing. We didn't know this morning when we posted the blog that we were going to do what we did today. Otherwise, we wouldn't have posted the blog or the link. So just bear with us. We, basically what's happened, because of you guys.
Because of you.
Because of all of y'all.
It's y'all's fault.
When we first started Big Bear Homestead, we got our website. And we got the bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
We got a very small package with small hosting, all of that. But now, because of all of the participation and people buying stuff on the website, there are a couple things that have happened. One, the internet, they're trying to make it more safe. So if you look up in your little bar, on the address bar, before today, if you looked on our website, it would tell you that it wasn't secure. So we had to get an SSL certificate that lets you all know that you're safe when you come into our website if you do any kind of purchasing or anything like that. The other thing is because we had the small hosting, it's almost like how you do internet. If you have a smaller internet program and they only let so much signal go through, then if you pay more, they open up the gates a little bit more, and so on and so forth. It's the same thing with your hosting, is how much traffic they'll let through. And so what was happening is, now that we have more people coming to visit the website, it's slowing it down. So we had to upgrade our hosting. And so what has happened is they're having to migrate all of our content from the one host and move it to the other host. So that's going to take a little while, plus putting the SSL on there as well to make sure that everything is exactly the way it needs to be. But that's all. And Kiwi, you're exactly right. I was telling somebody that earlier. It sounds like a good problem to have. I would rather have this problem because it's a good one. So just be patient with us. They told me that it shouldn't take more than a few hours. And that was at I probably need to call them after the live stream because it's been probably 4 hours and they told me about 2. So I've got to check with them. But if you want to read the blog, from the way I understand it, if you type in, and one of my mods just pay attention and then you can go ahead and type it in for me, www.bigbearhomestead.com. You should be able to go to the old website as it's hosted right now. And that's still good for another, I think she said till the 17th. We got a week. So you can go to, but don't forget the HTTP or whatever. If you just type in old.bigbearhomestead.com, you should be able to find the blog. It'll be under where it says Chewing the Cud. So if you click on that, it should be the most recent blog if you haven't read it yet. So that's all we've got going on there so just a few office-ended things before we get into the nuts and bolts of tonight, right? Don't do that. You're patronizing me.
I'm not patronizing you.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
So anyway, all of the stuff where you see the website right now, you're not going to be able to get to just the regular BigBearHomestead.com because they're working on that to make it safe for everybody. So once that's all done, it should be good to go. All right, so are you going to start?
All right, so do y'all have an Etsy or a Mercedes as a backup?
Mercari as a backup.
No,
we don't have Etsy or any of that because of all the fees that they assess. We already pay for an actual website, so it doesn't make sense for us to pay for another one. So we pay for our website once a year, and actually this year we decided to go ahead and pay for 2 years. So we're good until 2021 now. So that makes it nice for us to not have to worry about it for 2 years.
No worries.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Kitty says the website seems to be working for her.
The Big Bear Homestead or old Big Bear Homestead? Because I can't get regular Big Bear Homestead to work.
Somebody tried, Lost Dude said website works. Somebody try to go to the www.bigbearhomestead.com.
The old Big Bear Homestead works.
Okay. Stop. You're confusing people.
The one Kitty worked, the one Terry posted didn't. Yeah, it was because she didn't have the HTTP or whatever it was. Yeah. Uh-oh. I needed you. I had a coyote today.
Uh-oh. 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 So the www.bigbearhomestead.com works. Do you get the little green thing saying that it's safe? Not the old Big Bear Homestead. We're just talking about the regular old www.
Worked for me and said HTTPS.
That means it's safe, right?
Yeah, if it has the S, go to Kitty's. What does Kitty say?
Yeah, this is this is how the live stream drops.
No, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't. HTTPS www.
I'm gonna have to fire Terry.
Why?
Because she's always putting up the wrong links.
Oh, it does work. Look at that. Maybe. Yep. There it is.
And that little lock means we're safe?
Yes. And the and then the HTTP. So HTTP is one thing, and then the HTTPS means it's secure. Okay. So the lock and the S is what lets you know. Okay, perfect. So it's good to go. Yay! So all of my mods, when you're doing the website from now on, it's going to have to be that HTTPS. Make sure that we get that good. I got to head off to bed. Can't stop tonight. See y'all soon.
Who said that?
Homestead in the Highlands.
Homestead
Good
in the
night.
Highlands.
Yes, it is raining at our place again. Surprise, surprise.
Imagine that.
Of course, I had to write in the blog that it stopped raining, and what happens?
You made it
Start
rain.
raining again.
You made it rain.
Red Duchess Farm, hello.
What do you got?
So anyway.
Give it!
Yeah, we saw that. Give me that. What are you doing, dum-dum?
Are you supposed to have that?
But it smells so good, Daddy.
Were you supposed to have that?
It smells so good.
Don't lick my face.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about tonight, Daddy?
Were you supposed to... Don't you lick my face.
You better lay back down. You better lay... Oh, my gosh. You just completely knocked me over. Okay. If you put it without HTTPS, it'll route you to the HTTPS site. Okay.
Message your son. Tell him to come get Dum Dum. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, Apollo. What are you doing? What is the matter with you, man? Why are you being all kinds of crazy? You're not drinking my tea.
Okay.
Okay, so Mama Donna called me the other day. And she said, "Did you see the news?" And I said, "I don't watch the news." And she's like, "Well, why don't you watch the news?" I said, "Because it's full of bad news. Mm-hmm. I don't want bad news." And she said, "Well, you need to watch the news." I said, "But I don't want to watch the news." And
Big Bear Homestead, do your dogs help protect your animals? Protect them.
Define protect.
Yes, but not to the extent as an LGD.
I think he has to pee.
If he hears something or suspects something, he starts causing a ruckus, and he will like if we let him out the door, he'll take off
like a bullet.
And it's sometimes it's a little scary at night because it's so dark. Mm-hmm. We don't have any street lights or any spotlights or anything around here. And so when he takes off, you don't see him because he is solid black except for the little bit of brown on his face and chest.
What's up, Living Miracle Homestead?
So he
gone like a trailer.
Yeah.
In a trailer park.
He does that
Tornado Alley.
So he does it when it's necessary, but he's not one that like just walks around and keeps everybody in check. He just
gone.
Yeah. And a lot of times he's a hurt
like a soldier from the Civil War. Bang, bang.
he's a herding dog because that's what Rottweilers are, herding dogs. And so a lot of times what he'll do is like if we have pigs out or something like that, he'll round them up. But he's just as good at rounding them up as he is rounding up kids, right?
Pretty much.
So Mama Donna asked you if you saw the
news. And I said no. And
all right, good night, sub. We'll see you in a little bit.
And so she proceeded to tell me, because the government has been shut down for so long, that the FDA almost made a boo-boo right there. And they What's up, Cab 7?
Hello.
Well, the FDA already doesn't inspect all of our food.
Well, yeah, they already do a halfway job anyway.
And so, now that they're working for free.
Yeah, what do you think they're doing? What kind of work would you do if you were getting a check that had a bunch of zeros?
Homesteading with the Herberts.
I think take the pay from those who are in office as elected officials, but the job will get done. I mean, everybody suggests that.
No,
hold their paychecks until they figure it out.
That's not going to change anything. You want to know how you stop this? Look, it's very simple. You go to Philadelphia or New York. You find yourself an old Italian mob guy, somebody like Jimmy the Fish, or Frankie Two Times, or something.
Hey, Kaylee,
or something like that, and you make him in charge of the negotiations. Frankie Two Toes. Yep, because every time you come back with something stupid, he's gonna cut off 2 of your toes.
Nice.
I bet my farm. It only happened once. Mm-hmm. Because, see, here's the major problem that we have. This is the way that I see it, okay? And I'm just some crazy old mud farmer right now from the state of Georgia. But this is the way I see it, okay? We, as a culture, have gone either too far left or too far right, that the other side feels that they have to go extremely to their side so they can pull the opposite side a little bit closer to the middle, and they both keep going so far in the opposite direction that I'm so glad we live in a globe. We live on a ball. Yes, the world is round. Sorry, Flat Earth Society. That they are going to turn around and bump into each other's backs
one of these days.
And the art of civil debate and compromise,
hey, Matt,
is now become a 4-letter word that them yahoos up there don't know how to do it. And see, what they need is some blue-collared boys up there.
Uh-huh.
And it'll get done.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get done. Like, I'll bet the farm. I got a buddy of mine. He makes me want to drink Drano sometimes. Okay? He is super far left.
I'm sorry. She said, okay, he can do it by himself. I'll have a margarita and flush all the toilets upstairs. Her husband has got a toilet downstairs that he needs help with. And so she was going to go help him. And now, I'm sorry, that was funny. Polite adult conversation is dead.
It's dead.
Absolutely.
Right. But I bet him and I could sit down in the afternoon and compromise and fix more of the government issues than them crazy fools can do in a lifetime up there.
It is pretty crazy. They're so bent.
They're a bunch of toddlers.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of toddlers throwing temper tantrums. If I don't get my way, I'm going to grab my ball and go home. Or I'm going to, But, you know what? So,
all of that being said
is now, it wasn't bad enough that our food system was already broken. Okay? It's not bad enough that we were already having outbreaks of E. coli, salmonella, mad cow.
Crazy stuff, yeah.
All this stuff while they were getting paid and and they were doing their inspections. But now these fools ain't getting paid.
And they're still expected to do their
job. You know, just as well as I do, there's that guy sitting on the dock when them pigs are coming in.
Well, right.
Yeah, he looks healthy. I'm not getting paid anyway.
Kiwi said I'd be on my smartphone. Once you and Daryl get your tractor fixed, then you can head up to DC and fix those problems.
Ooh, doggy.
All this could have been prevented if they actually did their jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they were smoking some wacky stuff and we get E. coli. So what that basically leads up to is that there's no better time than the present to start really thinking about raising your own food.
Mm-hmm. Look.
Getting off of the dependence of the system that is obviously dangerous.
We said this the last time this happened underneath Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I do miss Obama. You know why? Because I miss saying this one phrase anytime something went wrong.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. It's just not as funny to say thanks
Trump. Yeah.
It doesn't have the same ring to it. But this is a wake-up call. A lot of us started homesteading because we either grew up doing it or we come from a preparedness background. We were all part of the whole 2008 recession journey into preparedness to where the world was going to end. We had great movies like Armageddon. What was the one that we watched together when we were dating?
Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow. It's our first date. Got the movie stub in my wallet. Yeah, we were Y2K. So, I mean, it all started and we were all buying MREs. We were all, putting food up, learning how to do Mylar bags and all of that stuff. And then you had channels like Full Spectrum come in and a really great channel called Breakaway Homestead come in, and, you got Corporal's Corner and them. These guys are out there trying to teach you how to start fires, how to put up food in Mylar bags and how to do all of these things. And then we started homesteading. And we've got friends. I got them. Paul's one of them. Love him to death. They're still sitting on the fence.
Hey, look who it is. Hey, keeping it up.
Sitting on that fence.
Should we start a prepper closet challenge?
Should I get some seeds? Should I put them in the dirt? I don't know. Because what are my neighbors gonna think? And that's is it gonna bring down the value of my house? I might have to answer to my HOA.
Grow food, not yards.
Here's the thing, homie. Is the HOA gonna put some McDonald's on your plate? No.
And are you gonna want the McDonald's that's on your plate?
Is that neighbor gonna help put some food in your baby's belly when they're hungry?
There you go. Instead of what's in your purse or what's in your wallet, do a what's in your prepper's pantry.
Yeah. And so this is one of the main reasons why. I mean, it's still January. It's still cold outside. And Why am I talking like that tonight? Why do I have like I'm like embracing my inner Chandler or something? It's because of Blaze. Blaze and I were going back and forth like that, and now it's done. But I keep doing it. This season, our gardening season, Robyn and I sat down and we prayed about it, and we said, you know what? We're done with people saying, "I wish I had more space." Lone Star. I wish I could grow my own food. Lone Star. So we're destroying, for a lack of a better term, our front yard. I'm taking out like 4 or 5 trees, ripping up the grass, tearing it down.
And the other thing that, when I was writing the blog, I got to thinking about is, we have always been blessed to have land, to have a garden. I mean, even when we were on a half an acre, we still had plenty of room to have a garden.
Yep.
So this is going to kind of force us to kind of get out of our comfort box, because you never know where God's going to put us. We may end up in an apartment complex somewhere.
Whoosh.
No, I'm just saying, you never know. Don't go there, because you want to make God laugh. Tell him your plan. Just saying. Nope. So the thing is, I want to make sure
what's up,
that
man? Thanks for subscribing, man.
That we hone our gardening skills to where no matter where we are,
that's true.
We know we're capable of doing it too. I mean, we know we can, but we want to hone those skills to where if we ever were in that situation, and while we're doing that, we want to share it with everybody. Oh God, you almost hit me in the face. So, anyway.
Right. And so, and Kitty said, well, if you rent, you don't have many options. That is so stinking true. But you know what? We're going to bring in containers. I'm going to show you how to grow stuff in containers. How you can grow some things inside. Like house plants.
Recyclable bags.
Ooh, what's up top?
Just saying. So, and we are like crazy, stupid, stoked over doing it this way this year. I'm just going to say right now, we have 73 people in here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kilted Gardener, hey.
I am ecstatic that we have 73 folks in here. But if we get 100, I might stand up and dance. I'm just saying. I may stand up and dance. I may not. I don't know.
We're in an HOA and our patio has no circulation.
See, some of them say 77, 78. Mine's saying 73. So that's even more awesomer.
More awesomer.
More awesomer.
Is that a new term you have there?
Yeah, just made it up. I want a nickel every time somebody says it.
Don't hurt yourself, Big Bear. Hit that share button. Tell folks they need to get in here. Like now.
So, and look, here is some of the things that I'm excited about with doing this plan. Oh, I can do the floss. Yeah. You don't want me to do the floss. Can. My kids taught me how to do the floss.
It's because Carol's like almost 13, and that's like right at the age. So, all right.
I do the MC Hammer too, but we ain't gonna go old school. So, I ain't twerking. I'm just saying.
Do that floss, please. Will the FBI show up if he dances?
I don't know. Just may. You never know. You never know. So one of the things that I'm excited about is getting back to doing stuff in a raised bed. And with Dutch being in here, he can kind of maybe back me up on this. As a Marine, we like control. We like knowing that if we do A, then B is going to happen, then C will happen, and then D will happen. So in a raised bed, you have more control. You know what the soil is because you put it in there. Right. You made it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's easier to control the radishes. Not the radishes. It's easier to control the pests. It's easier to control moisture levels. Mm-hmm. It's easier to control weeds. Mm-hmm. So, and there's so many things that you can do in a raised bed. And there's so many different concepts that you can do with a raised bed that I'm super excited about doing and sharing with you guys this year. Some vertical
gardening. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that you can do.
Yep.
Don't break a hip.
So, I'm seeing 78. So
79.
At 100, I'll do the floss. I ain't gonna lie.
So anyway,
may even do a little bit more.
I'm making our raised beds bigger.
Yes.
Yeah, now, raised bed's the way to go.
Look, here's the thing. You can make a raised bed as long as you want, but I would not make it over 4 foot wide.
No, yeah. It's way too hard to manage when it's more than 4 feet.
And that's exactly right. Because, see, you can reach in about the 2 feet and you won't damage really any of the plants. Okay? And then you can go around to the other side and reach in that 2 feet
that way.
So you can reach the whole bed that way. Anything over that, you stand a chance of damaging some plants.
Yeah. So one of the things that was said, Little Creek said that they would love to do raised beds, but they can't afford to put all the dirt in it. And that's where composting
and hugelkultur
comes into play in hugelkultur. So those are two things that you can definitely look into to help. And that's what Homesteading with the Heberts said, is that you collect everyone else's leaves and make compost for the raised bed. It may take a little bit of time, but you can do it.
I could wear my clothes like crisscross watching for 200 people watching.
Make your own dirt, definitely. It's more cost effective to do raised beds for me than amend my soil. Yeah. I mean, and we're in the same situation. Because we are, not only are we in the granite capital of the world, where there is granite six inches down.
2 inches in some spots.
In some spots. But also where we live, there used to be chicken houses.
Word.
And so the driveways and everything were all gravel. And so there's gravel like 2 inches up underneath the ground. Yeah. So that's the problem, is that we decided that the best thing for us, even though we tried to amend the soil and do it that way, we think the best thing is going to be to just do the raised beds.
Well, Little Creek, here you go. Get out a piece of paper and a pen. I'm going to give you a recipe for lasagna gardening, okay? AKA hugelkultur. All right? In your raised bed, in the very bottom, depending on how deep you've made your raised bed.
Which they don't have to be super deep.
Put some logs, branches, stuff that has fallen from trees that are around you. You don't have any trees? Go to your neighbor. I'm sure he'll be happy to let you pick them up. Put them on there. Then grab twigs and small branches. Put them on top. Then leaves on top of that. If you've got any compost whatsoever, you can throw that on top then. You want a good thick thing of leaves, though. Make it that bad boy as thick as you can get it. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then fill it with compost. You don't have compost? Go get your Miracle Grow vegetable potting soil. Put it in there. Now, here's the trick. Okay? Because that is called hugelkultur. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so the stuff that you put on the very bottom will eventually start to break down. And then as that breaks down, you're thinking, but Jason, as it breaks down, my soil level's going to drop.
Well, yeah.
Well, if you don't do this last step, you're absolutely right. It's going to drop down. Once you plant, mulch. Thick, heavy mulch. Get hay, straw, dried grass clippings. Put it on there nice and thick.
If you know somebody who's who has a
landscape
farm. No, I was just gonna say, like, if you know somebody who does farming that has wasted hay or straw that's kind of gotten kicked around and the animals aren't eating it, that's the perfect stuff for that. That is like ideal. We have found that at least for us, works perfect for weed control and for moisture control.
Pine straw. You have to be careful with pine straw because pine straw... Now, if you're doing blueberries, march the tar fire out of it with pine straw. But pine straw is very acidic.
Yes.
So you have to be careful with that.
So anything that needs acid, that's perfect. But are y'all going to do drip irrigation for your hot season or doing the grass clippings?
Drip irrigation.
Definitely.
I do drip irrigation and I mulch heavy with straw. I like straw and my spent hay. I like that better. And I love my drip irrigation. So
Farm on Quail Hollow said, have I told you guys how much I enjoy my Saturday night with y'all? Well, we enjoy you coming out and spending time with us too.
Somebody asked, it went by so fast. Somebody asked about dog poo in a compost pile.
Yes.
Yes, you can. Now, there is some crazy, and I can't remember right off the top of my head. I think you do have to let it sit longer if you're feeding that dog kibble. But if the dog is on a raw food diet, it can go into your compost and it will break down and be good to go. But it's something about if you're feeding it kibble, it has to compost longer.
So, Homesteading with the Hebert says, people start cleaning out their coops soon as well. Let it sit for a while before you plant in it. Absolutely, because that is still hot compost. It's still hot.
Up top.
Very hot still. It needs to compost for a while. Or you need to mix it in real good with a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Heard it's better to use straw and not hay. Less weeds that way. I mean, theoretically, yes, but we still didn't have very many issues with it because it was so broken down. Because usually they push it into the ground or they pee on it or whatever. And so that, what?
Nothing.
Okay, whatever. Anyway. Really? He's going to get a surprise visit from me one of these days. Just saying. Anyway.
So, keep them questions coming. Throwing used coffee grounds, it attracts worms, which really enriches the soil. That is correct.
Absolutely.
And coffee grounds they also bring in a solid base, I believe. They do something else other than attract coffee
worms. Living Miracle Homestead said, is quail poo as hot as chicken?
Yes. Yes.
Because they don't pee either.
They don't pee. Yeah. And what makes a lot of your fowls, ducks, quails, chicken, geese, makes them have a hot poo is they don't go pee-pee. They only go to poo-poo.
We missed this question the first time.
Nitrogen,
Judy,
there it is.
Yeah. Judy, I'm glad that you asked again. Does your house have to be a certain temperature or above to start seeds?
Yes.
We're going to,
Yes. I've got a video coming out this week that's going to hardcore explain it because I was asked in Roots and Refuge's group on Facebook, somebody asked about lighting. And so I'm going to, instead of trying to type out this big long paragraph, or it's going to be a lot longer than a paragraph, but this thing I'm going to do a video about lighting, about, because we experimented with lighting. And about which ones were good, which ones are not good, and the temperature. And here's a little sneak peek for the 73 folks that are in here. The house temperature plays a major role in it. Major role. So,
did you mulch over direct sow or do you do it over plants?
I do it over plants. Depending on what time of year it is, I may do a very light mulch over the direct sow. And a lot of that really depends on my bird population.
Two Family says their Starbucks won't give their coffee grounds away. Said they aren't allowed. Never heard that. Matter of fact, the Starbucks where we used to go to, they used to put it in bags and put it in little baskets in the front for people to just take.
Yep. They used to load up my truck.
Yeah, they used to just put it in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
There's a channel called Hey, It's a Good Life. She's a warm compost bin in her house. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would write to corporate because I don't... Oh, I still don't know about that. But...
I don't know. Well, it's been a while since we've done it. I mean,
That's
we haven't done it since we lost the truck, so it may have changed.
What about gardening in the brutal heat?
Mulch, 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 mulch. Mulch is a lifesaver in the brutal heat. Just like watering times. It's essential to water at the correct time during extremely hot seasons. For example, our best watering time for us in the dead heat of our summer starts at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. Goes till about 4 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. Now, the fat boy is not getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go turn on the drip irrigation. Mm-hmm. For about $20, you can get a timer, and you can connect it, and you set the time, it opens up the valves. Bam.
Hey, Breakaway. Linda said, hey, are y'all enjoying Huckleberry yet?
Absolutely my new favorite licorice. So, every Christmas, you can send me some of this, and I won't mind. It is fantastic.
In Prescott, Arizona, our heat hits from 11 a.m. to about 9 p.m. I always water early morning. Helps keep the ground cooler, too. Yeah. What flavor is it? Huckleberry.
Huckleberry. It's my new Huckleberry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Breakaway. He's at a classical music concert listening to French sonatas.
So,
what's up?
VW in the house. So, mulch, and then you set that timer on.
Anniversary treat for the wife. Where did you find that? It came from Linda. It's in that book, yeah.
Miss Linda, one of the bottles was busted. Not the little bear bottle.
The other
other one, the glass. I guess the glass bottle that you had. It was busted all over the place.
How expensive is drip irrigation?
It depends on where you buy it from. We got ours when it was just starting to come out, and we paid for our kit. I think we paid like $125, $150. I think it's more than that now. I haven't priced it in so long. We got ours from Home Depot,
but we also got it like 8 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I was pricing some of the equipment with one of my consulting customers. And I found a place. I've got it saved. If you want to know, hit me up. I will send you the link. But their emitters and stuff was a lot cheaper.
Can we do a drip irrigation video? Do it yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people even do a hose where they...
Yeah.
I mean, soaker hose or whatever.
Yeah.
So, one of the questions was about pest control. Can we talk about natural pest control?
Absolutely. I love talking about natural pest control.
I grow organically and have lost my garden every year.
What did you lose it to?
That's the good question.
What did you lose it to?
We made our own soaker hose. Kids ran over the hose with the lawnmower.
Thing about natural pest control is you have to think outside of the box. Mm-hmm. You have to think of companion gardening, companion planting, you have to think about
black beetles with the orange stripe.
Black beetles with the orange stripe. Black beetles with the orange stripe. Black beetles with the orange stripe.
And this one says relates it to voles.
Is that the squash bug, maybe?
Probably. Black beetle, orange stripes. Like a big beetle or like that guy? Because we have that guy all the time.
Yeah. You know, if it was well, I guess if you described it as a voles, you need to trap. Voles are simple. You need to put out traps. Your squash beetles, your aphids, your cucumber worms, your slugs, your stink bugs, ladybugs.
All of that.
All of that. They all... Remember one thing that I tell everybody. Everything follows its food source. Mm-hmm. Daddy Longlegs will tear up some aphids. So if you're seeing a lot of aphids and you're seeing Daddy Longlegs on your back porch or something, hey, you don't want to touch the spider? I get it. Spiders ain't cool. I get it. Get somebody that doesn't freak out about spiders to go catch them and take them to your garden. Mm-hmm. The spider will be like, I thank you. Because he's going to become Big Spider. Mm-hmm. Yes, the black light. A black light will tell you lots and lots and lots of information. Some of it you don't want to know. But yeah. There are wasps or parasitic wasp. They will lay their egg on the back of like a Japanese beetle, on the back of some of them. And then when that egg hatches, it eats the beetle.
Mm-hmm. Pretty gross.
A lot of times we don't overwinter our garden properly. So we've given these bugs a place to live and overwinter. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, because of the way that the environment is going now, with all of the changes, a lot of us don't get a good solid winter to naturally kill off some of these.
And that's us. Almost every year, if we don't have several days of a good solid frost, it's bad.
Got a little eyelash right there. You're beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, winter, what is that?
So, we have to kind of think outside of the box to combat these invasive bugs. Because they're thinking they done made it to the sizzler and it's your garden. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, aphids. Get some trapping glue. Come see the fat guy. Get some trapping glue. Get a chunk of plywood. Paint it bright yellow. Bright yellow. Smear the trapping glue all over the board. Lean it up there by your tomato plants. The bright yellow is what attracts the aphids. They will go to the big yellow board. You got to get it out there before your stuff starts flowering. It'll attract them because they'll think it's just one big, huge tomato plant. Mm-hmm. And then they'll stick. They can't go nowhere.
You know what I noticed, too, is our, what are they called? Loofahs have big, bright yellow flowers. And we planted them somewhat close to where the tomatoes were. And we didn't have problems with aphids this year. The aphids went to the leaves of the loofah plants, and it did mess with the loofahs because we they don't go to the actual loofah. They stayed really close, but up underneath the leaf and didn't mess with the plant at all.
Right.
Isn't that why a lot of people plant marigolds too, don't they, for that reason?
Marigolds are another thing.
Yeah.
DE works. I've never had any luck with diatomaceous earth working with aphids. But DE does work for some of your other pests.
The problem with it is you have to keep reapplying. Like, at least with us, we had a lot of rain this past year, so you had to go out every so often and reapply. Right. Because even like oil, I was just going to say, there's neem oil and stuff like that, but the problem with that is that you have to reapply very often.
Mm-hmm. Essential oils. Mm-hmm. Essential oils work great. We've got some mixtures. Works great. Okay. Now, the number one thing that you can do is companion planting. Now, we are going to have a very in-depth video about that when we start planting in our raised beds and stuff in the springtime. It's probably going to be a 2, maybe even a 3-part video. Make sure you watch all 3 parts. I know everybody watches the first one. They never want to watch the follow-up video. But this one is intense. Okay? Nobody really knows where the origin of companion planting came from. Over here in the States, we know we can trace it back to Native Americans with the 3 sisters, which was squash, corn, and beans. But the main theory, the main gist of companion planting is that they benefit each other in one way, shape, or form. Something may, the beans returning the nitrogen back into the soil and the corn sucking up the nitrogen. And the corn's providing a steady trellis for the beans to grow up. And the squash is providing ground cover and weed control and to help keep them cool in the heat with its big honking leaves.
Mm-hmm. So there was a statement about mint being able to keep some pests away. One thing we learned in my class on Wednesday about essential oils was that lavender is actually a part of the mint family, and it is used a lot of times for natural pest control as well. Mm-hmm. So that's another one to keep in mind.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because that just made me think of something. A vole is a rodent. Mm-hmm. Lavender does repel mice and rats.
So does peppermint. Yeah.
And peppermint. Mm-hmm. So you may want to try putting out some cotton balls with lavender and peppermint on it to possibly repel those voles. If you do that, let me know. Or if you're willing to do that and you don't have access to good oil, let me know and I will send you some. I just want to know the results.
The aphids are on my eggplant and cucumber plant in the greenhouse now. But with aquaponics, it makes it a little harder to treat.
Try to get yourself some daddy long legs to put in there in the aquaponics. That should help with those aphids. I'll give you guys a call. Mm-hmm. I'm going to look some stuff up in my books. Make sure I'm telling you the right way. Because I've got a whole library right over there for like organic pest control and stuff like that. So Gamer Granny said my grandmother would shave the dog and shove the hair in the holes, in the mole and vole holes. There are a lot of urban old country.
Wives' tales.
Wise tales and legends about things working, like sulfur for snakes. That's the first time I've ever heard that one. I've heard taking Hubba Bubba bubble gum, putting it in there, hot sauce, and stuff like that. Here's the thing about moles and voles, especially moles. Moles don't always use the same run. They may use that run one time, and then they never visit again. So you're jamming the hair down in there, and you're thinking, "Woohoo!" They just and they weren't finding what they were looking for there, so they turned around, went back, and went in a different direction, and now they're over there. Praying mantis eggs. There you go. That would be awesome. So. I got something.
Kilda Garner said, once you have mint, you will always have mint.
Amen.
Yes. We even put mint in our raised beds on the side of the building. And
yeah, they're going in containers from now.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. That and Jerusalem artichokes. Jerusalem artichokes are everywhere. Birdhouses are great to help with pest control. Wrens, blue jays, cardinals, robins. You just gotta watch with the robins because they love to go after the earthworms.
They're yummy.
Can't take you anywhere.
Nope.
Those kind of things.
Yeah.
PG Nano Farm, this is what you do. Okay? Here's the skinny on moles. Okay? You are not going to get rid of them overnight. Okay? Let's just go ahead and have that disclaimer. Throw it out there right now. It's not going to get fixed overnight. They take a while. Why? It goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. They don't always use the same run. So you never know where they're going to be. So you need to get a handful of landscaping flags. You need to walk up and down every mole run that you see when they push it up in the ground. You need to take your booger finger, push it in there, make a hole, bam, put a flag on the outside of it, bam, to mark it so you remember where it is. Okay? And you do that. Just keep taking your booger finger, putting it in the hole, make a hole. In the run, make a hole. Boom, 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 flag it. And then watch them. Okay? If you come back to that one flag and that hole is patched, smash that run down and put a trap right there. That means they use that run more than once. Okay? And that's going to take you a week
I use my pinky
to 10 days. Okay? Now, the trapping aspect of it, there's like 2 or 3 major types of traps out there. They're either the harpoon type, which I absolutely love, or you have the scissor type. I'm not too fond of the scissor type. Now, the one company kind of makes their scissor type out of like cast iron. Mm-hmm. Okay? They're a little bit harder to set, and they're a little bit more aggravating. Okay? But you set them to where the scissor part is basically like this, and it straddles the run, and so then when he sets it off, it goes okay?
Cuts him into pieces.
Cuts him into pieces. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it gets him. Sometimes it doesn't. The harpoon one that I like is like a 3-inch square piece of metal
with a bunch of
like nails. 8 penny nails coming out of the bottom of it. Okay? I'm talking medieval stuff here, okay?
As if a scissor chopping it up into pieces wasn't enough.
You, boom, put that in there, smash it down. Right? Run those nails up and down in that ground a couple of times. Set it. It's got a big honking spring. And it has a plate that sits on there. The moment he comes through and starts bulging up that ground and it sets that plate off, got him. Okay? He's not... Because, see, the thing with the scissors ones, if he's a short little guy...
You might miss him.
You're going to miss him. Okay? Or if he's been moving kind of fast, you may only get his tail. With the harpoons, he's not going anywhere. He's going to stick around.
One of the things that Mama Groves was saying is that she's got cherry trees.
Uh-huh.
And she's worried that if she encourages the birds to come to eat the bugs, they're also going to eat her cherries. Can she not put bird netting?
You can put bird netting around your cherry tree. But birds are a lot easier to control than bugs. Birds, if you see them out there starting going to the cherry tree instead of the garden, you can walk out there, they'll fly away. Bugs, you don't see them. You don't know where they are.
Yeah. And another one was there was something where we were talking about cats in the garden. And it looks like Rainbow Valley Ranch said we stick plastic forks pointy side up around the plants to deter them.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. That's a very good idea. There are some electric fencing that you can put out there. I think Premier One has one that you can put around your garden to stop rabbits and cats and those kind of things from getting in there. But at the end of the day, if he really wants to get in there, he gonna get in there. Okay? So how do you keep him? What's one way to really make him change his mind? I absolutely love motion activated sprinklers.
Yeah.
I like them for bears. I like them for cats. I like them for coons. I like them for any critter. Because. And if you watch a lot of YouTube, just plant a lot of cucumbers for cats. My son loves watching them cats got scared by cucumber videos. Absolutely hilarious.
Let's see.
But the motion activated sprinklers, okay? You kind of got to make sure. Look, you've got to check your fields of fire. You got to make sure you have crossing fields of fire. So that way, anywhere that cat steps to set off that motion thing, it's going to hit him. And cats hate to get wet.
Okay, so there's a couple things. I am feeling okay. I've got an earache that hurts, so it's bothering me. I've heard metal poles put in the ground that's electrified sends a vibration down to the earth that chases voles and moles and gophers away.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it. Another one that I just saw is Little Creek said, my cats go in and out of my Premier One fencing all the time. Then the other one I like is Geeky Garden says, we used to bury Coke bottles to chase moles. The wind blowing over the top of the bottles caused vibrations in the ground. I wonder. Now we have hawks that keep the moles in check, but present other issues. Exactly. Right. They follow their food source.
Up top. No, come on now. Yes, everything follows its food source. Mm-hmm. And so it's all about balance, keeping everything in balance. Yeah. Balance.
So there's a couple of different things to put in your tool belt to try and see which ones work.
But when it comes to moles, the 100% foolproof way to end it is to trap them. And you're going to look, if you can find where a lot of them are nesting and you basically what you're looking for is what they call the wrist. Okay? And that's basically that one run that comes to one spot and they branch out. You can stick a trap right there. You'll wipe them out in a matter of weeks.
Matt said something. Electric rods in the ground could disturb the worms.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing I said, I saw something about grasshopper solution. Somebody said something about getting Muscovies.
Yes.
Will they eat grasshoppers?
Yes, Muscovies will eat tar fire. That's why, watch ours.
I'm trying to remember. I know that,
watch ours. In the spring and the summertime, they migrate to all of the front part. Mm-hmm. Because it's loaded down with crickets and grasshoppers. That's right, with
the crickets and grasshoppers.
Yep.
Yeah, when we, in the beginning of the spring into the summer and the grass gets a little high, they'll go out there and they will hover in through the grass just waiting for them to jump back and forth. That's right. I remember that now.
Muscovy, if you can have Muscovies are a great one to have. If you don't mind a lot of noise, guineas are another great one to have. Guineas will tear up some insects, especially ticks and mosquitoes.
Yeah, so that was one thing that they said that they were thinking about getting Muscovies, but it's kind of hard to find them out here. I didn't realize that because I had somebody send me a message today asking about Muscovies and if there was anything, like if we knew of anywhere up in Illinois. Remember I was asking you about it. And I started Googling, and I didn't realize a lot of the hatcheries don't sell them. Well,
Granny says they're prohibited
there. Yeah, and so we have a ton of them. And they, and they populate all 3 ponds that we have.
Yeah. So here's the deal. If you really want Muscovies, start sending me, and you're close enough that you can come get them because I'm not going to ship them.
Well, I don't know. The one that we had was in Illinois. But
if you want to make the trip to come get them, I will sell them to you. Mm-hmm. We usually have large clutches that most of the time the parents don't take care of very well.
Yeah.
And then we raise them up, and then they end up going down to the beaver pond or going here and there, and they usually end up getting attacked by otters or coyotes or foxes
windswept
or bobcats.
I hope everything's doing better tonight.
Yeah, he called me today.
Okay.
Yeah. He's going to come help. Oh, by the way, they're going to come down in about May-ish.
Okay.
Just let you know.
Okay.
Hopefully, I haven't really hit him up to ask him this yet.
You're being
hey, I'm talking to you.
Put on the spot.
I'm talking to you. But I got to talk it over with Josh. I would like for them to maybe help out with the class, kind of like how they did at the HOA. And he's also going to help us put the wood stove chimney in, because he's done like 1,000 of them. Shut your face. Not shutting my face.
See, God is awesome. Just saying.
Not shutting my face. He's done like a gazillion of them.
So,
and
that's answered prayer right there.
That's
not done. Awesome.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
And the roof leak that we can't find, he already knows what the problem is.
Again, answer prayer. God is awesome. Just all I'm going to say. Okay, so Muscovy ducks supposedly bump out the clutches of native breeds, so a lot of states hate them. Well, they love them around here. Don't nobody put anything up around here. And what's funny here is, okay, so when we came up here, we had like 20.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them.
We had like 20, 25, because what happened is...
Now my neighbor's got like 10.
There was somebody local... Oh, no, what happened? A bunch of them spread out. They were everywhere. So then we found out that somebody local here, as soon as we moved up here, they were like, oh... We have Muscovies, but we want to get rid of them.
He had like 30?
No.
40?
It was like 20 that we took like 20 from him. So we took 20 more and brought him out here because we thought they had been eaten. At this point, we thought they'd just been picked off because we hadn't been here long enough. And so, then we went and got these other 20. And then you went down to hunt.
No, I was down trapping. And I was like, found all my Muscovies.
So, they like to, because they're not, I don't know how many of you know this, they are not traditionally water ducks. They will stay on land. The only reason they go to our pond is because they're here, because it's here. Otherwise, they don't need water to be happy. They fly, they'll get up in trees, they'll roost in trees. They don't mind not having a lot of water. You can get a little baby pool
and be good.
Put some water in it for them to groom or whatever, and that's all they need. But they are messy. I will tell you, if you don't separate out your front, like you have a front porch and you're letting them walk, just letting them do their thing, they will come on your porch right in front of your door and crap right on your door or right on your floor right in front of the door. Like, what? What you gonna do? They are messy. They definitely will poop on a lot of stuff. I actually have a really cool picture before the accident of the truck. They used to actually get up on the feed barrels on top of, like, in the back of the truck, and then I'd come out there and spook them, and they would just take off, but they would a trail of poop the whole way while they're it was bad. So, but we love them because they keep our mosquito population under control between them and the bats.
Yep. We
are not suffering as bad as we could be because of the way the weather's been. Yeah. We have a pond, we have the aquaponics system that's not running right now, so that's all standing water every time. We try to dump it out, but we still have, it catches water. So we have a lot of places where there can be standing water, and they still manage to keep it under control.
We got one, we call him Steeler.
And he was our very first one.
He always looks at us and he's like,
yeah.
I got this.
We've had him, we were thinking about it the other day, we've had him for at least 7 years.
Yeah.
7 or probably close to 8.
I would say you would say he would be the old G, but because he's a duck, he's the old D.
Yeah, because what happened is we got several from him, from wherever we got them from, and he was the only one that really, truly made it through everything. And we would take the food out and put it out for the chickens, the cows, the goats, like we put it all out for everybody, and he would bully a 1,200-pound Holstein cow out of food. He would go and spread his wings, because his wings are huge, so he spread his wings out like, this is my food, and that's why we called him. He didn't have a name, and then when he started stealing everybody's food, we were like, Stealer. So, and even now, as old as he is now, he's had several generations of boys that are now here on the property with us, and he will still put them in their place for the ladies. It's the funniest thing, but he's the oldest one, but I'm telling you.
So, Common Sense University doesn't give a degree made a very good statement.
Okay.
And it's very true. She said bats are misunderstood.
They are.
And bats are completely misunderstood. Everybody, you got your vampire bats, your fruit bats, your regular old type of bats. Like around here, we got the big brown bats, the little brown bats, the Mexican free-tail bats, and the white spotted nose bat. Now, the bat population is large, and they are federally protected.
Right.
But bats are a wonderful, wonderful thing to have on your homestead, in your neighborhood, everywhere. They are very misunderstood bats. Their biology is amazing.
Yes, it's raining here. You can hear it because there's a metal roof. It's a tin roof,
So, but I was told I'm not allowed to go talking about bat houses and bat poops with bat pans tonight.
Because you make it a drink. They're making it a drinking game now.
So I'm not allowed to talk about bats, even though I love bats.
So, yeah, I love metal roofs too. We have one on the house and here on the shed. And out on the shop as well. But
yes.
Karina said, no shots. I just got my elbow uncramped from the over-exercise. I used to have a pet bat. Huh. So, just gotta wait till I get huge.
So.
All right. Anybody else have any
other questions before we call it a night? This was a great. Look, you guys are being awesome. I love the interaction that we are having here on our live streams. Friday was awesome. We had a great. I mean, yeah, we got a little carried away about bats because y'all done got me excited about them. But I hope, even though you guys were making it, making fun and making a kind of drinking game out of it, I hope you guys did learn something about bats through it. Bats are wonderful things to have around. You can keep, look, uninformed. You're not ignorant, you're uninformed.
Right. Well, and I think ignorant gets a bad rap. Ignorant truly just means that you don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, if you are ignorant, if you don't know but the thing is, it's like I always tell my kids, I don't appreciate the word can't in our vocabulary here.
Right.
There is no can't. It's I haven't figured it out yet. And that's the same thing is, you just, I don't know.
Yeah. It's half empty, half full.
Right.
Look, guys, I do need a favor. We've set some goals for 2019. And I would, if you are on Instagram, please come follow us. Please come follow us on Instagram. If you are on Facebook, please go to our Facebook page. Give it a like. If you've got lots of questions and you want to ask them or sit down and start to have conversations about it, come on over and join our group on Facebook. A lot of folks share funnies in there. Josh is notorious. Teresa are notorious for sharing funnies in the Big Bear Homestead.
Little pick-me-ups during the day. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah.
So come on over, join that. The only thing that we'd ask is if you've got a YouTube channel, no self-promotion in there. Ask questions away. If you have a video relating to a question, by all means you can share that, but just don't come in and spam the feed.
Just like I have to start, my moderators that are in there, we have to start paying attention because I've seen a couple of people, because we don't really screen anybody coming into the group because we believe everybody has the opportunity to be in that group. I don't say screen, we don't go through a background check on everybody. We want to encourage everybody to learn about homesteading. So we have to really pay attention because there have been a couple that I've seen recently where it was like a real estate agent.
Yeah, I got her out.
Yeah, so definitely if you see something, send me a message and we'll take care of it because sometimes we're not able to catch that stuff. And Jason really can't with some of the stuff because of all of this quirky stuff that's going on with Facebook. He's not getting the notifications for them. So if you want to message us and let us know, that's,
please do.
Yeah.
Please do. But definitely if you're not a part of the Big Bear Homestead group, please shoot a request or whatever.
Yeah, I've been answering them during.
And we'll let you in. We'll let you in and just knock on the door. Hey, let me in. We'll let you in. Just all we ask is none of that self-promoting, spamming stuff. Look, I don't even warn you. I just boot you.
So Judy says no homestead yet, but I want to learn and want to have a garden to survive. So that's what I'm saying.
Miss Judy.
We don't say, well, you don't have a homestead, so you're not allowed to. I mean, that's not what we're doing here.
Look,
so
here is the thing.
have a question answer type of page before you get in the group for their moderating on Facebook.
Yes, and I don't know how to set that up because ours was done before that happened. So that's one of the things I'm going to have to sit down this week and try to figure out how to do. Here is my 2 cents on what makes a homesteader. Okay? It's a state of mind. Mm-hmm. It's a state of mind. You can live in an apartment in East LA or in Compton. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can live in an apartment in Compton, and if you have one container, 1 3-gallon bucket, and you fill that thing with dirt and you put 1 stinking tomato plant in there, and you have grown tomatoes enough tomatoes that you can have tomato sandwiches and you can make some tomato soup and put it up. Or if you're just putting it in your salad and that's when you eat tomatoes, you are a homesteader because you just lessened your dependency on a broken food system. You just took some of your freedoms back.
There's still skills that you can learn how to do. Exactly. Yes. Look, in my opinion, somebody who decides they want to cook with cast iron. They want to bring back cast iron. Look, that's a homesteading thing right there. Robyn, can you post in the chat under your channel? I can't find it anywhere now. Are you talking about the Big Bear Homestead group? I've got to where I can set up the questions. I'm just going to have to find out what Jason wants us to ask. Yeah. I know where to find it now. But is she talking about... What is she talking about?
I don't know what she's talking about. So, homesteading to me is all a state of mind. Homesteading to me is about what your heart is saying. If your heart is saying... You don't want to worry about getting E. coli on your romaine lettuce or salmonella on your romaine lettuce.
Sorry, Josh.
And you decided to you started to get a little raised bed out in your backyard, and you just planted lettuce, and you're a homesteader to me. I don't care if you got 1/4 of an acre, 700 acres, 7,000 acres, or 21 acres. If you're doing what you can do to lessen your dependency on a broken system and you want your freedoms and you're out there learning skills, learning how to chop wood, how to start a fire, how to stack wood, how to fix a lawnmower, how to change the oil in your car, how to can something.
Mm-hmm. Anything like that, yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Then you, my friends, are, in my opinion, in my book, you're a homesteader. Cheers.
That's cool. Loved the idea of someone saying they base their garden basically on sauces and condiments to can. We learn a lot from each other. My heart is saying I need to go back to my roots. Mm-hmm. Yeah, crochet, learning,
yeah.
Growing something other than weeds. That's all of us every season. Every year. That's the way it goes.
Look, make no mistake about it. When we got those pigs from Tommy Alderman, we drove to Mississippi to go get those pigs.
Yeah, we did. It was a 9-hour drive.
Miss Patty was so stressed and so worried because they, like us, they got so much rain. She couldn't keep up with the weeds.
Mm-mm.
And
And
we come around that corner and she's like, y'all, don't look over there. Don't look over there, y'all.
Don't look at my garden.
Don't look at my garden. It's a mess. We got so much rain. I just can't keep up with the weeds. And she was truly embarrassed.
Well, what was funny is because the beginning of the season, I don't know if you remember, mm-hmm. but like this was back when the Homestead Network was still kind of like on the back end of it. And they were showing their garden and how great the raised beds look. And it was fantastic. And then towards the middle to the end of the season,
we were getting hammered with rain.
And she was like, she almost didn't want us to go. Like, if we could have gotten away with not going in the back, she wouldn't have let us go back there.
Yeah.
It was only because we had to go back there with those pigs to catch up the pigs. She would have never let us go back there. She's like, y'all don't even understand. And so what we did was Blaze was here.
We had him take a picture.
We called him. And he had his phone to where he could scan the garden. And we're like, look, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Exactly. So we know. So now, is everybody seeing... This is how crazy our weather is. That's what I was going to say, April. We have chickweed everywhere.
Okay, hold on.
And henbit.
Will I be Homestead? What?
Right Homestead
here. Disowned
for having plastic.
No, I know a lot of people that do it. I know a lot of folks that do it.
We heard a cool thing that VW Family Farms is doing. They found a hookup with the billboards. The old billboards that they pull down.
Yeah, I really wish you wouldn't have brought that up.
Why not? They're going to see it on their video anyway.
Okay, but that still really gave me a little bit of time to try to get some for us.
I mean, these people are nowhere near us. So
you don't know that. City Girls right up the road.
Yeah, well, billboard tarps.
Yeah, so no, you're not going to be disowned.
No.
Trust me. Anything that you can do. Look, we put cardboard down underneath our raised beds. Look, my raised beds consist of, on the bottom, is 1/2-inch galvanized hardware cloth, then some cardboard.
April said you can just go down I-85 and collect them from the side of the road.
Yeah, so.
Does the billboards allow water through? You put that down before. Yeah.
What you do is you put that down on the ground.
And then you
put your raised bed on top of it.
Billboard blocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, anything that can be repurposed, reused, or recycled is welcome.
Yeah.
Sometimes just cardboard. Yeah. It's like we're getting ready to set up a little area in our dining room, and we need something to hold markers. And Ladessa was like, well, just give me a 20-ounce plastic bottle. I'll cut the top off, and you'll be able to use it. I'm like, okay. So, all right. So you want to sign off? It's 9:30.
Yep.
And the rain's starting to get
heavy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Remember, be kind to one another. Don't let the season of love and respect die just because the month changed. Love on your neighbor. He meant that. Love thy neighbor. He meant that one. Remember to reuse, recycle, repurpose. Give our wildlife a chance, and also get involved with your local politics. Get them city commissioners to renovate those downtowns to be revitalized instead of tearing down the forests for a strip mall that'll be vacant in less than a decade. You guys, thanks for coming tonight. God bless. And we will see you on Wednesday.
Before you do that, somebody asked if we have a video on raised beds. We don't have one on how to build them yet, but you're going to do one, aren't you? I don't know that we have one on how.
I've got a raised bed playlist, but I can't remember if I went into detail on how to build them, but there will be one coming out in this new garden series. Okay. Good night, guys. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Mama Bear's Essential Oils class. We're going to be talking about lemon. Don't forget Instagram. And Facebook.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, y'all.
Good night. God bless.